Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hey Rangers, it's me, Jackie Kashian, and it is another year of the Dork Forest. What the heck, right? So you should know that the website, JackieKashian.com or thedorkforest.com or dorkforest.com, if you don't enjoy a determiner, are all still available. You could hear the show on all of the different things. I've been trying to figure out how to get off Spotify. Try not to listen to Spotify because they throw in ads that are not approved by me, Jackie Kashian. So, but we'll see what I can do. Anyway, but so you could always watch the show on my YouTube channel. I think it's The Dork Forest or Jackie Kashian. It's all linkable on JackieKashian.com, the Dork Forest page. And I have another podcast called The Jackie and Laurie Show. Not quite as sleepable because it's just me and Laurie Kilmartin bitching about stand-up comedy. And also celebrating it. Anyway, so here's the thing. You can donate again to the show. If you enjoy the show, I would love for you to donate about $100 a year because that keeps everything in rolling along. And you can do PayPal, which is my email, Jackie@JackieKashian.com, which you can also email me anything you like about the shows and stuff like that. You can Venmo me at Jackie Kashian. That's my Venmo handle. And if you see me in real life at a comedy show, you could just hand me a sweaty wad of 20s or whatever you like. That'd be great. And I also do stand-up comedy. So you can see my tour dates on JackieKashian.com. You can listen to very old episodes of The Dork Forest on my Bandcamp. And I also put my very first album that I ripped. It's on my Bandcamp page. It's called Bread is not it's not bread. It's not circus people. It's Cake is Not My Downfall, which is a track on the Bread album, but it has other jokes that are not on the Bread album. The audio is what it is, but there's also some very early Dork Forests and a storytelling album called Storytime, all on Bandcamp, and everything's either free or a couple of bucks. So, new album coming out in February called Altercation, and new special. And that, I'm sure there's more to it, but let's get into the show. It's me, Jackie Kashian. That's right, Rangers. Here I am, back again. Anyway, this week, that's right. I usually don't do this because he has a podcast about this, but I don't know anything about this, so I wanted to know about this. It's Rich Conroy talking to me about Ultraman. Rich Conroy, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Jackie. This is a big honor. I'm a huge fan of the show and a huge fan of your comedy in general.
Thanks. Oh, good to hear it, everybody.
I'm a big Jackie Kashian booster.
That's it. Check the tour page. I could be near you. You don't know. Ultraman Podcast is the name of your podcast. It's about Ultraman.
The podcast is called The Science Patrol. The podcast is called The Science Patrol. I'm sorry. And the website is ultramanpodcast.com. But the Science Patrol is the name of the Earth Defense Group from the very first program.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't know, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right. So okay. So Ultraman, I think it's old, right? Like it's been around for some time.
66 was the first show.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It basically was started by a gentleman named Eiji Tsuburaya, who was the special effects genius behind the Godzilla movies made by Toho. So when you see the 60s Godzilla movies with all the miniatures and the guys in suits and whatnot, he's responsible for that. He was like cutting edge.
Is Ultraman live action?
Sure is, yeah. There are animated versions, but it's mostly a guy in a suit beating up on another guy in a suit in a city of miniatures.
Oh, in a city of miniatures. Okay, because they're supposed to be because he's supposed to be giant.
Right.
So he is large, By the way, this is the second episode in a row where there's guys in suits. Last episode was
Yeah, you're
Guar.
right.
Yeah, it's but this one is so it's 66 Ultraman. What's Ultraman's backstory? What's his origin story? Do we know?
He comes from a planet called the Land of Light in a place called Nebula M78, and they're basically
Sure.
like a galactic peacekeeping force that fights monsters. In the first,
just monsters?
well, monsters and bad aliens.
Okay.
We use
okay.
monsters as kind of a catch-all term because when the original show aired in '66 and it was on syndication in America for a long, long time, which is how I discovered it as a youth. Um, it it was dubbed into English and it was shown on what do you call it, syndicated television. And so like everything was a monster. Oh, it's a monster. So they had very like speed racery, sort of high Asian accents, and it's a little bit not super sensitive now. You know what I mean?
Right. It doesn't play as well, but can you watch it? Can you watch it not dubbed now? Can you watch it subtitled?
Absolutely.
Is that better?
I got to be honest with you. The first series I prefer to watch dubbed because it's how I watched it growing up.
Oh, right.
So like,
sure.
I have that endless nostalgia for it. So don't mind me walking away. I'm just trying to get the dog to chew on something other than
something you'd like to keep.
Yeah, something I'd like to keep. Exactly. He's got bones. He's got a stuffy in here, and he's like, "Let me chew on the laptop stand." That's great. So, you're a menace. I told you. So, yeah. When I was little, I discovered this show because I was a Godzilla kid from way back, and we got cable in the late '70s. So there were two channels coming out of. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. we got two channels out of Philadelphia, 17 and 29, and they had a lot of dubbed Japanese content on it. You're leaving the room, dude. You can't be trusted. Come on. Out.
There's drama in the background, you guys.
Yeah.
There's drama. Go to the YouTube channel. You can see the non-drama. It's not happening on screen. You're going to have to build it in your minds.
Yeah, it's a small white dog, and he was just evicted. So I came home one day, and there's this silver giant kicking the crap out of a monster, like breaking up buildings and stuff. And I went, what is this? So I made sure I was home the next day at the same time to make sure it was on. And it was.
Right. Was it on every day? It was on every day?
Every day. Yeah.
Okay. How many episodes are there? Yeah.
Only 39. But when you're 11, you just go, okay, that's fine, whatever. And it restarts, and you're like, oh, why do they keep restarting it? I wonder why they don't make more. Well, because it's, 15 years old at this point.
Right.
You're watching things that happened way in the past.
Okay.
And I kind of forgot about it when they took it off the air. And they replaced it with a show called Johnny Sacco and His Flying Robot, which was a lower budget affair, which kind of makes Ultraman look like the Matrix. But
wow.
Yeah, it's a big budget disparity.
So so the guy who invented Ultraman is the Godzilla guy. Yep. Did the monsters look like Godzilla? Were they like kaiju dudes or?
Funny you should mention that. Since he still had a good relationship with Toho, they let him use some of the suits. So in the first series, which was called Ultra Q, this was like a non-Ultraman series. It was kind of like the X-Files, but with giant monsters. They took an old Godzilla suit, they dressed it up with some different kind of plates, and I kid you not, big fuzzy eyebrows and a horn, and they call him Gomez. And that was the very first episode. And he's menacing guys digging a train tunnel. Now, you would think that's got to be a one-off, right? No. Gomez still appears in the series like to this day. And he's like one of my favorite monsters because he's just, you look at him and you're like, there's Godzilla in what is effectively a Groucho Marx disguise. Like, breaking stuff up.
How are they? Okay, so Ultraman comes from a planet that's essentially like a Green Lantern kind of planet.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
Green Lantern-y. So what happens
Okay.
is the first episode, he's chasing a galactic criminal called Bemular. His ship collides with Hayata from the Science Patrol, and he's like, "Oh, in order to save your life, I'm going to bond with you." So when in times of crisis, you can use this device. It's called a beta capsule. You turn it on, and you can transform into me. But of course, due to Earth's polluted atmosphere, he can only remain Ultraman for 3 minutes.
What specifically 3 minutes?
3 minutes. So he's got a thing on his chest called a color timer, and it's blue most of the time. But once it hits the last, I don't know, I think it's 30 seconds, it starts flashing red, and that's the big moment of drama. Like, oh, how's he going to get out of this now that he can't
Because he has to kick ass for only 3 minutes. He has to beat the guy in 3 minutes, or the bad
Right.
guy monster. Does he fail ever? Does he
Yeah.
have to go recharge and then come back? And
Mhm. Yeah.
like how long does it take between 3 minutes?
They're not real. I want to say it's like a day, but they're not super consistent with it. I think as the show gets on, it's like, well, the host is exhausted because he had to fight, too many monsters, or this monster beat him so badly that like his physical form gets injured, like his human form. So, excuse me. It's real stretchy. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. Malleable. It's
yeah,
able to, like if
wibbly
he needs to
wobbly.
come back quick,
Yeah,
he's
wibbly
back.
wobbly, timey wimey. Exactly. Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
plenty of times where you're like, well, it seems too quick, but maybe it's later in the day. I'm not 100% sure. Like he even fails. Big spoiler for a show from 1966. In the last episode, he fights a monster that beats him,
Oh,
and
the 39th episode. Yep.
basically kills him. But his superior officer comes in, Ultraman Zafi, who looks just like him, except he's got some what looks like rivets in his chest plate, who beats the bad monster and saves Ultraman and Hayata's life, and supposedly wipes his memory so he doesn't know that it ever happened.
So Hayata is sort of the human host of Ultraman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows
What's
he's Ultraman,
Hayata's
but
day to
nobody
day?
else. He
Okay,
works
yeah.
for the Science
What's it?
Patrol, so
Okay,
he's
and this. Explain the Science Patrol again. I'm so
okay.
sorry.
No, it's fine. This is a big concept. The Science Patrol is basically the Earth Defense Force. So there's Hayata, who's kind of like the dashing hero guy. There's Akiko Fuji, who's the communications officer, who also gets the coffee because she's a girl, and it's the '60s.
Oh Christ! Oh Christ!
Oh, and there's
Yes,
episodes.
that's fine. Okay.
There's episodes centered around her going shopping for jewelry. I
thank
kid you
God!
not.
Thank God! Thank God! She's got to bling it up for the fellas. Okay.
Oh my God, it's so terrible. But so then there's a guy named Ito in the English dub. His name is Ide in the Japanese dub. He's like odious comic relief slash inventor. So he makes all the weapons that they make to fight the monsters, the ray guns and the whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then there's Arashi, who is like the pilot and big burly man, and there's Captain Mura, who's the guy in charge. And everything is super 60s retro. Like the computers have big tape reels on them and a bunch of lights. And it's, if you're into that kind of thing, this is cotton candy.
Okay, that's great. So this is and these are the first 39 episodes as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 66 to I don't know, 67?
Well, 66, that's it.
Okay.
And then
what's the reboot? Yeah.
Well, I lose track of it, right? I don't know anything. In college, a friend of mine goes to New York Comic Con, and we had talked about Ultraman like, I don't know, a week before, and he comes into the radio station we were both working, and he hands me a boxed Ultraman figure. And I'm like, oh my God. And he goes, yeah, my mind is completely blown. He goes, the hard part was figuring out which Ultraman to get you. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, They never stopped making the show, dude. We just don't have it here.
Oh,
So,
like Dragon Ball Z.
well, it's
Okay.
almost. So it's like they did Ultraman, and then they did a series right after that called Ultra 7, which was a different Science Patrol completely, much like they
Sure.
did with Power Rangers, right? So it's always a different cast, it's always a different setup. The hero is different, and we get new monsters. Maybe some old favorites, but it's a chance for new
Okay.
monsters to come, right? So I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute. So of course I have to do the deep dive and go to like the local comic shop, and the guy's like, oh yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a place in Clifton that has a lot of it on bootleg VHS. So I get in the car and I drive to Clifton, and
So is this the late 80s?
this is the early '90s.
Early 90s. Okay. That's
Yeah.
when
So they,
it's a prime time for bootleg VHS. The 90s were full
booyah,
of bootleg. Yeah. Okay.
and
Cuz
how?
I bought so many in like 1998 and 99
Mm-hmm.
of Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
for
sure.
this for this kid that I babysat for who I was trying to get to read, and
Yeah.
it was all subtitled. And I
Subtitles,
was
sure.
like,
Fan subs.
and so he would not read. And so I gave him like two or three of these VHSs, and I said, "Hey man, they didn't have the dubbed versions; they only had the subtitled versions." And he was like, "That's fine. I want to watch more Dragon Ball Z." And so
Ding.
he was reading more, and he was 8.
Right.
I win.
My
Okay, go.
my son is nonverbal, but he will watch Ultraman dubbed or subtitled, and we don't know how much he gets, but he's very engaged, and he seems to laugh at
Okay,
the jokes, and he seems to
okay,
understand. And I'm going, I don't know how much you know, and it drives me bananas because like he's soaking everything in. His receptive language skills are bananas, but like
yeah,
doesn't say anything about it. You know what I mean? So he's a man of very few words, and when he says something,
sure, sure,
you're like, what have you been? Where you been keeping that? You know?
yeah, yeah. That's good.
But
That's awesome.
so then they reboot Ultraman. They did an Australian Japanese co-production called Ultraman Towards the Future. They were like, we're going to reboot it. It's called Ultraman Great in Japan, and it's fine. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's shot on
It's not their
video.
fine. It's not their finest moments.
Yeah, it's shot on video. It's done in Australia. They're not 100% sure how to do what is called tokusatsu, which is Japanese special effects programming. They're not 100% sure how to do it. You know what I mean? So they have consultants come over, and apparently they got
Oh,
lucky with
essentially,
it.
they're just trying to recreate something that is done very specifically by a very specific artisanal set of
Yeah,
people in Japan, and they're like,
yeah,
"We got this. We're sitting in Brisbane. I can figure it out." And you're like,
yeah.
"You're
Could you
okay,"
send
but
could you send some guys over? That'd be great. So
and they're
they
like,
send some guys
"Free
over.
trip to Australia? Sure."
Yeah. So they send some guys over, and it's a lot of fun. We rewatched it for our holiday. I think it's for the holiday, our post holiday 12 days of Ultraman that we do every year because it's like a 12 or 13 episode season. So we just go, all right, we're gonna
Oh,
do one a day, bang it out, and it
you
also
got
gives us
one.
a little break at the end of the year. Um,
Yeah.
and it's fine. They did an American production around the same time called Ultraman Powered, or in America, it was called Ultraman: The Ultimate Hero. It never aired here because it's bad. Uh,
Aha.
it's real
Where
bad.
is it?
You can get it on
Did
various
they
bootleg
air it in
sites.
Japan so that they
They
could
sure
make fun
did.
of us?
Oh, they sure
Oh,
did. Yeah,
interesting. Interesting.
yeah. And
Okay.
it's uh, the lead guy is played by. Do you remember movies in the '80s that came out like Enter the Ninja? And there was a guy named
Yes.
Sho Kasugi. Well, his kid is the Ultraman host in this, and he's
Okay.
fine. Everybody in the show is competent enough, but again, it's
Sure.
another 13 episode series, and they built
So
suits that are so good, but so fragile that they couldn't have the monsters whacking on each other, right? So every fight is basically two toddlers pushing at each other, going, "Al, quit it! Al, quit it!" Al quit it.
Oh,
And then
so
he
that's
finishes.
what makes
Go ahead.
the show amazing? Like, is the amazing thing is that they're actually wrestling
Oh
hardcore.
yeah.
Like Ultraman is there and they're grappling and they're knocking each other and they're trashing the place.
Oh
Is
sure,
that
they're
what makes
throwing
it
each other
awesome?
through. They're throwing each other through buildings. They're lighting stuff on fire. There's big explosions, and there's Ultraman. Of course, and the monsters both have energy weapons. Like Ultraman sort of
Okay.
has a whatever power you need in the first series. Like he has a
He's
buzz
Ultraman.
saw. Right,
Yeah.
he's got a buzz saw that's made out of energy, and he can throw it at a monster, and literally cut it in half. And the monster will just fall apart, and you see like the meat and the bones. It's distressingly graphic for a children's program.
Right. And yet, and what's the name of the original one? Because now I want to see that.
Ultra Q
Yeah.
is the one that's
It's the one where he has
it's
like
like
the Green
X-Files with
Lantern
monsters.
powers.
That's just
Okay.
Ultraman. That's the first Ultraman, 1966. I think that's on
Okay.
Tubi right now.
Okay, and it's what you have just described as a little too graphic. That's the that
It's cartoon graphic. It's not. There's no
no
blood, but like
no I'm
things.
down. I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
monsters explode. Like somebody's head will get cut off, and it just looks like the end of a rump roast. And you're just like, this is ridiculous. Just
How
absolutely
long are the
preposterous.
episodes? Are they 30s?
Half an hour.
Are they
Yeah, half an
hour? Okay.
Yep. And the brilliant
Okay.
thing about
I'm kind of
the
in.
brilliant thing about
Yes.
it is they change it every year up till 1980. Then it takes a break until the 90s. And I need to pull up the
Make sure it's accurate. I
show
get it.
list. Oh, I'm not going to rely. If the current one that's running is something like the 32nd series or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It's called Ultraman Omega. It's really a lot of fun. It is airing concurrently on YouTube with its Japanese counterpart. So the day it comes out in Japan, it's on YouTube subtitle.
Okay, sort of like Taskmaster.
Yep.
So here's
But his
my
task
question.
is kicking monster ass. Yeah, go ahead.
So my question is so in the first series, he's come and this is the theme. He's bonded with a human a science patrol guy,
Yep.
and they whenever there is an invasion of a giant kaiju like alien monster, he
Which
becomes
seems to happen every
Ultraman.
week. It's crazy.
Every week, crazy.
Yep.
So for 3 minutes, he becomes Ultraman, and he does his damnedest to kick ass in those 3 minutes.
Yep.
But he might have to retreat, reboot, and come back and do it again. What is the plot in between it all?
It's generally
Like,
the
where are
science
the
patrol.
jokes? Like you said that there's jokes. I want to know where
There's
that
the guy
funny
trying to
is.
invent something, and he's a lot of pratfall guy. Like
Like the
it's
rest
very
of Science
simple.
Patrol.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, what are we going to do about this monster? We're going to try to defeat him on our own. Like, this monster comes out of the ocean and it eats oil. It's looks like a double starfish. His name is Pestar. And so it's two guys in suits basically holding hands with a monster head in the middle. And the monster head literally eats oil barrels. And so they go to a refinery. And my podcast co-host, Pat Rooney, greatest straight man in the world, is like every time I drive by an oil refinery, I get excited. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's ingrained at this point. But the monster will come out, start blowing stuff up, and then Ultraman, like the Science Patrol, will come in with their jets and they try to do their freeze ray or whatever else they've come up with that week to try to beat it. It might work temporarily, it may not, and then Hayata has to I'm going to go see if there's any survivors down at the, and he runs behind a tank, pulls up the beta capsule, and becomes Ultraman.
Oh,
They
because
don't know he's
nobody
Ultraman.
knows.
Right.
Even his other sort of world protector superhero friends don't know that he's Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
So, did they ever do a thing like, God, I wish Ultraman was here?
Oh, sure. And meanwhile,
Okay.
he's in the seat next to him going, yeah, he should show up anytime, I guess,
It's weird. And is he dating our coffee getting shopping person?
Well, this is a show
is that the
was
love
originally a show meant for young, 10-year-old boys. So girls are icky. So I didn't say anybody's dating anybody,
Right. But
she
when
is the
push
very
came to
first person I had a crush on television. I can tell you that.
well, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah,
First person I think I had a crush on was I get it mixed up between Racer X and the
sure,
adolescent Bam Bam.
sure.
So
Why not? He
I
was
don't know
burly.
if he was
He's a burly
very,
man.
very very handsome young teenager man.
That's
Anyway,
right.
so
But yeah, I remember I met the actress who played her years later. I think
oh
in 90,
wow
99, something like that. And I was
okay.
dumbstruck. Like, just like, hi. Like, I mean,
You're like you were real pretty when I was little.
yeah, yeah. And she was just super nice, and she didn't speak a lot of English, but she was super
Of
nice.
course, just very polite and just like
Yeah,
because it's like when you meet whenever I meet there's a 45-year-old guy out there who I changed their fucking life in 2003 when I made jokes about video games.
right,
And he's just like, I didn't know you could make jokes about video games. And I'm like, I didn't know what else to make jokes about.
right,
It was
exactly.
the only
What
thing
else
I
am I
was
supposed to do?
doing. Yeah.
So, like,
Anyway,
I mean,
so
I've
yeah.
met the guy who played Godzilla, the original guy from the 50s to the 70s, who was he is the first time he was in America. People went absolutely bonkers.
So
Tiny,
there's a
tiny
guy
man.
in it. I mean, I'm sure Matt Weinhold has told me this,
Oh, I'm
but
sure he's met him.
there's a guy in a suit. I don't
Yep.
understand. I think I thought it was all
Nope.
done
Nope. No,
claymation. That's what I
they
genuinely thought it was.
they will use sometimes the action figure if they have to drop it from a height and they have to use it as miniatures. They'll do a quick cut, like, oh yeah, that's clearly the action figure. But most of the
Right.
time, it's guys in suits just
Just-
smacking the crap out of each other. And we recently talked about it in an episode where, like, these suits weigh 80 pounds, some of them.
oh
And so there's
wow.
these really wiry Japanese men just doing backflips, and like, you wouldn't mess
Wait a
with these
minute.
guys in on a bet. Like,
Right. Because they could do things with 80 pounds on them. So just think of what they could do without any weight.
right.
So in it does I can't tell you how many. I mean, I've probably seen 2 Godzilla movies, which I know is
Sure.
sacrilege. But the
I can help you there, whatever you need.
nobody's doing backflips in the Godzilla costume.
No, the Godzilla costumes are much heavier. Kaiju costumes
Okay.
tend to be more. The very first Godzilla costume apparently weighed something like 230 pounds.
Who wore that? The guy?
This gentleman named Haru
The-
Nakajima. He was a very small man. He could only be in it for a short time and think back then, you
Probably
had to have
3
super
minutes.
hot, yeah, super hot studio lights, right?
Yeah.
There are scenes behind the scenes photographs of the first movie where they had to film him stomping on stuff. So the suit is cut in half, and he's wearing it like suspenders with like the big
Yeah.
Godzilla's ass and whatnot, and his feet and the tail, and he's just like this, and they just show him from the waist down. It's amazing.
Right. That is very kind of them because I'm sure that amount of suit weighed 120 pounds, right?
Yeah, well, he told the story how in the second movie they made it a lighter suit, but part of it was made of bamboo, like the skeleton, right? The bamboo broke in his leg, in the leg suit part of the suit, and it cut him. But he thought he had water in the shoe, right? Because they were doing a water scene until he
no.
passed out from blood loss.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
my
so they
gosh.
patched him up. He went to the hospital, got some blood, came back and finished. Because
Can't tell you how
Japan.
much. Yeah, because I can't tell you how much people really want to be in show business.
Oh
They
yeah,
truly want to be in show business a
Yeah.
lot.
it's crazy. So so Ultraman broke down from 1966 to 80. There are 7 series. Then it starts again in 96 with Ultraman Tiga. Dinah and Gaia are like the big ones. Like, a lot of people are into them. I never got
and this
into
is
them because they're
96.
shot on video.
Okay, and
I-
it's
at the
and you
time,
sort
I
of
was a
aged out.
snob. Well, no, I was also
Right.
a snob because I was like, they look like soap operas. But now when I watch
Okay.
them, I can appreciate they're still doing the same hyper detailed buildings and the hyper detailed miniatures, and the monster fights are great. And I just go, okay, it's shot on
And
video. I have to suck it up.
and this is still being shot in Japan
Yes.
with dudes in an Ultraman costume.
Yep. Yep.
Is it
Very
always
young
one
people.
guy or do they swap it out?
Well, they had I believe it was Ultraman Ace who had a man and a woman were like co-hosts. So they had to put two rings together or something. We haven't watched that one yet. But at a
Okay.
certain point, I think the female character wasn't testing well with the young boys. So they were like, oh, she has to go back to her home planet. They poochied her. Yeah.
Oh, it's a classic. So who are
And
your Yep, go ahead.
sometimes you'll have a guest Ultraman show up from one of the past shows in a current show. And either the old host will show up or they will have another person take on that hosting duty temporarily. Because it's usually the Ultra will pick someone who's doing something super heroic, like, hey, you're a good guy. I saved your life from the monster stepping on you. Let's work together to fight monsters. So, like in Ultraman X, which came out in 2007, one of the other like Earth Defense Force people had to rescue their kid, and another Ultra came to her and was like, I'll share my power with you, and you can go fight that monster in Detroit or wherever it was, because they were an exchange student." And she became Ultraman
Yes.
Max, I think it was. It was amazing. It was like, you see that, and it's just like superhero team ups. It's the best thing ever. And they really do that heavy in the movies because there are tons of Ultraman movies as well.
Okay. Were there
Oh yeah,
movies in between 1980 and 1996?
a lot of times they'll do compilation movies back then, but now they
Okay.
make movies. Like
Like
usually at the end of a series, there'll be a movie, and it's usually like I say movie in the loosest definition of like a 67-minute episode, but it's theatrically
sure.
released.
Yeah,
Apparently, if it's over 62 minutes, it counts as a film. Um,
sure. They could win an Oscar. You don't know.
sure, why not, right? But they did. There's a shed load of them. Like, uh, they did. Here's the big thing. In 1974, there was a Thai Japan co-production called the Six Ultra Brothers versus the Monster Army. So they had a whole bunch of suits flown over from Japan to Thailand. They shot this film, and the guy from the company that put it out, which was called Chayo, gentleman's name was Sampote Sands, stole the trademark through some legal wrangling so that Subaraya Productions could not use the original Six Ultraman anywhere outside of Japan.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you bought Ultraman DVDs when they first came out in America, they were licensed from Chayo. So they were terrible looking. They didn't have the complete English dub. Like it would revert back to Japanese in the middle of an episode for like 4 lines and then back to English. They were terrible.
Right.
But I think in 2019-ish, I'm ballparking
Oh,
here. There was
wow.
a
Like not long
yeah,
ago, like 5, 6
yeah.
years ago. Okay.
There was a U.S. appeal. There was a U.S. court that they took it to, and they looked at the evidence and went, "No, clearly Subaraya Productions owns all this stuff. You guys can kick rocks. And by the way, they also own everything you did. So all the stuff
Oh,
you did
wow.
as Ultraman, they now own it. So
Oh my gosh. So then
yeah,
they
you know,
re-released it all? Or they
it's
are in
not
the
real
process
good.
of re-release? Oh,
It's
still
not
not
real
bit. Still
good.
not good?
Yeah, no. Well, they
Okay.
only did that movie, and they did some live stage shows and stuff. But it's not. I'll tell you, Jackie. I tell you how this series is kind of violent. This movie features this kid who he's protecting these statues of Buddha from being stolen by these art thieves or whatever.
Yeah.
And they also the title also doesn't mention that the Indian god, the Hindu god Hanuman, the Monkey King, also shows up as a giant who fights alongside the Ultramen to fight the monster army. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
So
Yes.
this kid becomes
Is this
the avatar for Hanuman, right?
Is this 6 Ultraman? What movie is this?
It's called the 6 Ultra Brothers versus the Monster Army. I believe there's a terrible subtitled print on YouTube.
Okay.
And how they get rid of this kid, because he's hanging on the back of a pickup truck, is they shoot him in the forehead, Jackie. They kill a child on screen, and Hanuman's like, we can't have this. Brings him back to life, and he becomes the host for Hanuman.
Well,
Pat and
at
I
least
were
they
in
bring
my
him back
living
to
room, like, just aghast. And we've seen some stuff.
Right. If you're watching any sort of, you're seeing
like,
some
what?
stuff.
I mean, there's a series that came out that it took us forever to watch called Ultraman Leo, Leo, right? And it's 51 episodes. Came out in 74. In, I think, the first episode, this kid and his sister, their entire family gets massacred by the aliens, right? So this kindly policeman and his wife adopt them, right? 3 episodes later, the kindly policeman and his wife are murdered in front of them, right? So the host takes him in, and they move in with this other family. Like, he gets a room at their house, and it's a woman and her daughter, and she kind of takes the kid and his sister in, right? Okay, that seems very nice. Towards the end of it, in the last group of episodes, these UFO aliens come in and just start laying waste to Earth, Japan, and they're out shopping, and this kid is the only survivor. Like, everybody else gets killed. The entire Science Patrol team in this show, called, like, I think they were called Matt, the Monster Attack Team. There's a big cast. It's like 11 or 12 people. They all get massacred. The space station explodes. It's the darkest thing. We were like, this is a show for children. What the hell are they doing? Right. Meanwhile, kids are probably like, you see that episode? It was pretty badass, right? Like, that was playground talk,
You know that Titan anime? Like, this is old school anime, right?
Yeah.
Is this considered anime? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's a tokusatsu, special effects program. So it's very much like
a different version. Okay.
So this is basically like your Power Rangers, your what is called Super Sentai in Japan. Your Godzilla movies are considered tokusatsu.
I keep forgetting this is live action.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So wait, so all the characters just fall down and die on this
explosions,
crazy
fire.
live action.
Oh yeah.
What?
It is insanity. And we were, it took us almost 2 years to get through 51 episodes because, one, the budget is infinitesimal because of the oil crisis. 2, they start using these monster suits, which are basically dudes in leotards, like fuzzy boots and fuzzy gloves, and just a monster head, which we like to refer to them as the League of Also-Rans, who really don't pose a big threat. But, and like they start pulling from Japanese folklore for some of the episodes, and it is the most tonal whiplash of a series that we have watched. Just like, we watch a kid's family get massacred, not once, not twice, but thrice, and like at the end he's just like, well, it'd be nice to live with this lady and her daughter, and you're going to go back to your home planet. Because sometimes the host is actually the Ultra in human form. They change it up sometimes.
Okay.
Like they can become human looking. Like the new guy, Ultraman Omega, shows up. He's got amnesia, and he meets a guy who works in a warehouse and befriends him. And like monsters start attacking, and that's never happened in this universe before. And the guy who's the Ultraman host like looks around. He's like, I think I can fly. And he's like, what are you talking about? You can fly. He goes, yeah, I kind of remember being able to fly. And he's like, just kind of like trying to jump up. And he's like, I don't know, it's not working. And meanwhile, the warehouse guy thinks he's like a little, too many nuts in his pancakes, right? So, but then it turns out that he becomes the Ultra. And he's like, oh, you can do that. And then this kid discovers these things called Meteor Kaiju, which are kaiju that come from meteors. And he becomes, because he's friends with with Serato, who's the Ultraman, he has a psychic bond with these other three monsters, so he can fight alongside the Ultraman.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and it gets
What?
even better because the monsters can transform into weapons and armor.
And then they
Because
can
you got
join
to sell the
together to
toys.
become.
Yeah, you got
You
to
got to
sell the
sell the
toys,
toys.
Jackie. Yeah.
So they can turn into, and then they just combine to be something to
Well, no,
fight the
only
Ultraman.
one monster can be active at a time. So
Okay.
we don't want to make it too easy on the good guys. So like
Right.
the one monster is like he's like a sort of a dinosaur Godzilla looking guy, and he's got telekinesis. And when things get really bad, he can transform into a big sword, and like there's armor and whatnot. And okay, fine. Look, I'm this far into it. I'm going to accept whatever you throw at me at this point.
Wait. So he's just a sword? Who's wielding the sword?
Ultraman. So Ultraman Omega can hold the
Oh, the
sword.
monsters. I get it.
The monsters become armor and weapons and whatnot.
And they help. So they're
Yep.
helper. The meteor monsters are helper
Yep.
monsters
Yep.
for Ultraman
Right,
against other monsters. Okay.
Right, which goes back to the second series, Ultra 7, where he had three what were called capsule monsters on his belt. This is pre Pokemon, mind you, of monsters apparently that he captured, and he can throw them into battle, and they can fight the other monster for 2 minutes or a minute or something.
Pre-Pokemon. That'll.
Yep.
Yeah.
67 that came out.
Huh.
So then, like, we had stuff from 96 to 2006. No, it's been pretty much running since 96, pretty much at that point.
Okay.
So we are at series 25 with Ultraman Omega.
So it's just been running nonstop since 96, the 25th
Just about.
series. Okay.
Like Doctor Who, we have a little bit of a break,
Yeah.
and then we just keep going.
And we just
we
keep going.
changing. We keep changing the main actors. We keep changing all the characters. Some of them come back for like an episode or a movie, but like it's crazy how
they age out. They age out of 100-pound, 80-pound suit.
You would think so, right? Apparently the guy who's still doing Ultraman has been doing it since 2005.
That's 20 years, and maybe if he was 20 years old, he's 40 now?
Yeah, he still
but
looks
maybe
good.
He's 30.
But he still looks fantastic. Like, of course he does. He has to wear that skin-tight suit and do flips yeah.
Is he the same? So is the person who is inside the suit the person who gets to play the human symbiote?
No.
Okay.
No. They generally don't do that because they're shooting the special effects stuff separately from the human drama stuff. Okay. So what I love about it is Tokusatsu is like, hey, look, nothing has to look photorealistic. Okay? We're going to make these big giant buildings, and like Eiji Tsuburaya said, when a monster walks through a building, I want to see floors collapsing. I want to see rooms. I want to see staircases. Like, it has to look like a building. Right.
It has to look.
So now, and this has happened really since we started the podcast in 2016. You start watching it and you're like, okay, they'll shoot it down an alleyway, right? So you're at the mouth of the alleyway. The monster and the Ultra are duking it out at the end, right? The alleyway is full of trash in little bags. There's a bike leaning up against a newspaper stand. There's a guitar. There's just random stuff in the street, right?
Right.
Then the monster falls or someone falls and everything goes ba-boom. Car alarms will go off. Like, they are really paying so much attention to detail.
And it's all done sort of like in miniature. Like
most of it is miniatures. They do some CG stuff.
Have you? Okay. Have they start? I was going to ask if they have started doing any of that. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the monster shots are a lot of the like if the when the monsters have to transform from the monster form into the weapon, that's all done CG, and you can tell for the most part. Sometimes when they have to do a flying thing, that's CG, but there's a preposterous amount of it that is still just guys in suits beating the crap out of each other. It's insane.
Right.
The dedication. They did shots in the last one, Ultraman arc, in the first episode. There's a fight that takes place, starts at the top of a building, and a guy like takes a phone out to shoot it, to record it, right? And so it goes then from that perspective,
Sure.
and you see it through the walls of a office building, right? The camera
Oh,
pans down,
wow.
and there's all the floors with all the desks and the computers and the office stuff. A monster gets knocked into it, the windows crack, all the stuff falls off the desks, and it's all tiny little things. It's
Right.
it's. I just picture a bunch of guys like, yeah, we made that. That's a Ted
Yeah.
did the lamps, like.
It's right. Well, there's I accidentally was
Oh, you turned yourself off.
moved it.
There you go.
How about now? Is it
Yeah,
back?
you're beautiful.
Okay,
Lovely.
there we go. I really have to figure out what's up with this XLR cable. Anyway, so the crazy thing is I have been to a miniature museum.
Yeah.
And it's a museum of tiny miniatures. And stand-up comic Sarah Schaefer, who used to do a podcast with Nikki Glazer, she has a crafting, like that's her that's her main sort of hobby, but she's turned it into, like, you could buy kits. And
yeah.
Sarah Schaefer, she is Sarah No H Schaefer. And so find her on Instagram, because the miniatures are extraordinary, honestly.
Yeah,
I
I've
bought a
seen
bunch
some
for
of them.
Christmas.
Chris Fairbanks is big on miniatures too.
Oh,
He's
surprising. He's such an art kid. Yeah, he's such an art guy.
Yeah, you tell somebody that, and they're like, yeah, and
Right. That makes perfect sense. By the way, I am talking with Rich Conroy. He has a podcast called The Science Patrol. It's about Ultraman. And if you go to ultramanpodcast.com and you Instagram, you got all the things. And very cool. So here's my next question.
Yeah.
Do you have like 5 favorite monsters or 5 favorite episodes?
God, there are so many.
Right, yeah. Give me some
of the
monsters and eps.
I'm going to give you some classics. There's a guy named Red King. He is neither red nor is he the king of anything, but he is an incredible bully. He's in one of the first episodes called The Lawless Monster Zone, where they go to this island, and he is literally dismembering other monsters and like kind of laughing about it, like, you jerks. And we call him everybody's favorite jerk.
Oh my gosh.
Sort of gold colored, and he looks like he's made out of corn. So he looks kind of like if Godzilla and the Michelin Man, had a baby, he kind of looks like that. Like,
holy smokes.
He kind of looks like he's made out of corn cobs. We call him Corn Godzilla as kind of a goof on the podcast. We're like, oh, there goes Corn Godzilla. Here he comes. And he still shows up, but they kind of make him more slapsticky now. Like, he does the curly thing when he gets upset. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want monsters acting like vaudeville comedians, sure. The pre-mentioned Gomez I really like, because he's basically Godzilla in a Groucho Marx outfit. Let's see. There's a new guy named Damaga who came around in 2007, who's a bipedal sort of Godzilla-looking guy, but he shoots hot lava out of his back, like flaming hunks of magma. It's in the first episode of Ultraman X.
Where does he keep it? Where does he keep it?
He's got those thick thighs. It's got to be in there somewhere. They all sort of have big childbearing hips because of how they have to do the suit.
Excellent.
I say 2007. No, he was from Ultraman X, so that's 2015. I digress.
Good.
Yeah, so, there's so many that show up and we're like, here's our guy. Because you get classic guys like Balton from the first series, who was looked like a big insectoid guy with lobster claws, and he could multiply himself and shrink and also grow giant. And he decided to invade Earth with 2.5 billion of his other, because their planet was destroyed, obviously, because that's what happens. And so he brought everybody from his entire civilization in a ship. And Ultraman was like, no, you can't live here. And they're like, well, you can't make us leave. And Ultraman uses what is called the space ray, which is his finishing move, where he puts his arms like this, shoots a big beam, and blew up 2.5 billion sentient beings on a spaceship. And
Wow.
you go,
And
well,
wow,
it's
and
the 60s.
people are still mad at the Phoenix. That feels rude. That feels rude
Yeah.
that he gets to kill 2 billion people and nobody cares.
Here's the thing, though. They keep coming back, so there must have been A, more of them, and B,
Right.
they're still being dicks about it. So, like, like,
Right. They're pretty pushy. Find a
they're
different
real
one. Find
pushy.
a different
A lot
one.
of the
So,
aliens are
okay.
super pushy. They've kind of made a new character called Alien Barossa, who is he's more comic reliefy guy. He's got sort of. Have you ever seen the movie Donnie Darko, or at least a poster of that weird bunny? Sort
Yeah.
of looks like that weird bunny, but
Okay.
there's space pirates, and um, they're more comic reliefy, but there's billions of them too, and they're always getting into hijinks and like, oh, our plan was to take over the ramen industry, or something stupid, and they have to get busted.
Sure. Sure.
The other two big mentions are one is an evil Ultraman called Ultraman Belial, or Belial, if you're going to pronounce it the way we pronounce it here, who was a regular Ultra who touched what is called the plasma spark, which gives the Ultras all their powers, and it corrupted him, and he became this Dark Ultra.
Oh.
Um,
So he is actually from the planet of Ultraman
yeah.
people, but he's a bad
Oh, hey,
guy.
Gordy. Yeah. So
Yep. That's Tyson.
oh, I'm
Oh, the
sorry.
barking. And so they're both. Gordy actually doesn't bark very much. There he is. He's back there.
Oh, nice.
And
So
yeah.
yeah. So that led to there was a newer Ultra that came out recently called Ultraman Zero, who is the son of Ultra Seven, and he's kind of the big swashbuckling hero. And they did a series of movies with him and some original videos that just went straight to video. And he shows up as like the big hero in a lot of stuff. He was in
Okay.
a show called Ultraman Geed, which was the son of Ultraman Belial, who didn't know that Belial was his dad. Um, so
Ah.
he's struggling with his powers and trying to deal with what is inherent darkness in him because he's
Right.
the son of Belial.
Right. Because of
And
some sort of genetics. Right.
right, yeah,
It's nature, not nurture.
yeah.
So
But
who
like, so
raised the
Ultraman
son of
Zero shows
Belial?
up in that. I'm sorry.
Who raised Ultraman Belial's son? Not mentioned.
Indeterminate? Yeah, not really.
Indeterminate.
Yeah,
Not really fleshed
indeterminate.
out at this time. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
and
Fair enough.
I'll be
It's a
honest, they could
possibility
have
for the
mentioned it.
future.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
have mentioned it, but that was 2017, and I could have forgotten. 'Cause,
So it might be in there. They might have.
yeah, I could have.
Sure.
When you watch
There'll
as
be a
much as
day.
we do, it starts to
Right.
wash over you at certain points where you're like, "Oh yeah, that did happen." But
Right. It's hard to
as
remember all the details. Yeah.
as the show goes on, the transformation devices become more and more complicated. So it used to be just a capsule. Then it was a pair of glasses in Ultra 7. He puts those on, he becomes Ultra 7. Then it was a ring. Then it goes on and on. And it's a different looking kind of wand, right? But now they use, for a good period of what is called the New Generation series, they would have a transformation device and they would have to put like a card in it or a coin or a capsule or a bunch of stuff. And they had to manipulate it a bunch of ways. So they're basically doing toy pornography where they show, hey
Oh,
kids,
right.
here's the thing. You put your 3 collectible coins in it. You do this,
There you go.
then you pull the zip cord, whatever. And the genius of the 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 marketing is
Marketing. Yeah.
Japan is small, right? So when you watch Ultraman on Saturday morning, which is when it airs, and you
Okay.
see them use Ultraman's got a new sword, or there's a new kaiju, or there's a new
Hmm.
plane. When you go out shopping with your mom that day at 1 o'clock,
Right.
it's at the store all
Wow.
over Japan every
The
week.
timing.
New stuff.
Every week.
Yep. New
Every
stuff
week.
every
New
week.
stuff.
Yep. The new monster is out every week. The new toy is out every week. Every week there's something. It's either just maybe new coins that came out, or new collectible capsules, or new collectible cards, or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Wow.
at least they're doing
That
25 episodes a season now. So it's not like you're getting beat over the head for 52 weeks a year. There's a bit of a
right.
break.
Okay,
But
because were they doing 52 episodes
oh
for a
yeah,
while?
up until the mid 2000s, a lot of stuff was sometimes 39,
Every week.
sometimes 50, sometimes
Okay,
52.
but more
Ultraman
than 25
Cosmos is the biggest one with 65 episodes.
in a year.
No, that went longer than a year, but
Right. It went every week.
yeah,
That's insanity. Because
they
that's
even sort of comment on how crazy the transformation devices are getting in a show called Ultraman Rube, which is spelled R/B. I don't know why. Mainly because they had two Ultras in that show: Ultraman Rosso, who was red, and Ultraman Blue, who was blue. BLU. Two brothers, the Minato brothers, who wore
okay.
the same outfits every day like cartoons. Their
Sure.
transformation devices looked like the Autobot matrix of leadership. We referred to them as space accordions because they were massive.
Okay.
And whenever they needed them, they just pulled them out from behind their back. So
Right.
clearly, where were they hiding them? Right?
Right. They're not even in a backpack. What the heck?
Right.
And
Right.
then
So we realized partway through the series, this whole series is satire. Like they're satirizing the
oh,
whole genre. Like they have these giant space
right.
accordions that they have to flex to do the thing, and they're wearing. It really set in on us when they did a flashback episode of them as kids, and they're wearing the same outfits as children, just tiny versions.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
and this is
yeah,
still live action.
yep,
They said
they're
they
put,
got they got a couple of twins who
yep,
play
they're putting in
themselves
the
as
work,
twins.
Jackie. They're putting in the
They
work.
are
I
really
think one of
putting in
them's a
the
little
work.
older. I don't think they're
Right.
twins. I actually think the one's a little older. But
Oh,
like
right. They're
otherwise,
brothers though. Yeah.
they'd be known as those poor hunchback Monado boys who would have to walk around with these things on their backs. Like then the very next series was called no, I'm sorry, two down, Ultraman Z or Ultraman Z. Excuse me. Um, he explained he can talk to. Sometimes they can talk to the Ultras, sometimes they can't. So he says like, "Hey, I'm going to give you this transformation device and this belt clip so that you can store your power ups on it." And he goes, "I
Okay.
can't wear this. It's out of uniform." He goes, "People are going to see this." And they made the most brilliant addition to the script, which was, "Oh, it's made of a metal that humans can't see."
Right. Of course. Congratulations.
Yeah, it
Here's my
only took you
next here.
guys until 2020 to figure that
right.
out.
It's just 60 years later.
Yeah,
Here's my question. What are there I mean, I the podcast called The Dork Forest.
right.
People are completists with these
Oh
with
yeah.
collection stuff. So, do you collect this stuff?
I don't collect the figures anymore because I'm not
You
made of
can't.
money. No, you can't.
Right.
They've been making it since the 60s. They still
And
make
where
it.
would you put it? Where would you put it? It's
Exactly. I have an autistic son who likes figures, so he has a couple.
sure.
Um,
Sure.
I used to have a shed load of Godzilla and Ultraman stuff, which I
Right.
sold when we found out we were having a kid. So I was like, well,
Right.
he's going to need indoor plumbing and a roof, so this stuff
right.
goes.
Let's live
Expen-
indoors. And
yeah,
yeah.
expensive Japanese toys are no longer a priority. Um,
Right.
but
Have
I
you
do
ever
collect.
been to Japan?
No, sadly, no. I'm
Okay.
trying.
Okay.
He
Right.
is
And
bigger than Godzilla. Like they have a street, like it's like Ultraman Street. There was an Ultraman theme park at one time, which is
oh
sadly
gosh, the
closed. Yeah,
sadly closed. Oh,
yeah.
my condolences. Um
What you gonna
the
do?
what are you going to do? So, but I did interrupt you. Were going to say something else. I'm so sorry. You only have like 3 minutes left.
Oh no, it's just that there's so much of it, and there's a company that was formerly known as Mill Creek, which is now Alliance Entertainment, and they have put out the bulk of it on Blu-ray and DVD. Like almost everything you could want, but there's a bunch of like side projects. There's little Ultraman animes. There's one where he's a businessman called like Ultraman Graffiti. It's 6 episodes, and the monsters and the ultras have made peace and they work together. And he's like, his boss is one of the bad aliens and like tells him he's doing a bad job all the time. It's just anything
Absurd.
you want. Excuse me. There's a series of like public service announcements with a character called Ultraman Nice, where he tells people
Okay.
don't push on the train, don't litter,
Right.
be nice to
Okay.
people. You know, like they use the monsters to sell Maytag appliances. Like they've
All
got the
right.
hats and the little outfits on, and they're like Maytag.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's everywhere,
It's
and
just.
fortunately, it's coming here. We're seeing a lot of it here. There was
Oh,
there was
really?
actually a live stage show in New Jersey at the beginning of the year at the American Dream Mall. And yes, you're watching guys in suits beat the crap out of each other in the middle of a shopping mall, and the kids didn't
Okay.
care. They didn't care.
No.
Apparently,
they
the
wanted to
monsters
see
went
it.
out into the audience on the first show, and the kids freaked out because
They were like,
in
"Oh,
Japan,
protect me!"
right?
Yeah.
In Japan, it's de rigueur. They do it every year, so the kids know. Oh, the monsters are going to come out. It's fine. But they didn't tell anybody in America, so they had to change the show after the first showing. They were like, "Hey, if you're by this line, the monsters are going to come up to this line, so don't be scared."
Okay. Right.
And
Right.
kids went mental. They swarmed the guys playing the Ultraman at the end for meet and greet stuff.
Yep.
It was beautiful to see as a guy who talked about this show since he was 10, 45
Right.
years, to see people like, I know what that is now. And it's thanks
Right.
partially to a company called Starlight Runner, who's doing a great job trying to bring a lot of this stuff to America.
Wow. Rich, I'm gonna call it at that, just because we're
Okay.
at like 59 minutes. This is amazing.
Sounds good.
I'm sure you have at least another hour, but
Oh,
people can
please.
listen to your podcast, which is
Please
called
do.
The Science Patrol.
We've
And
got 400
you can hear,
episodes.
there's 400 episodes, you guys. And if you go to ultramanpodcast.com, Rich Conroy, been on the show right here. The Science Patrol is the name of the podcast. Thank you so much for doing the show. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me, Jackie. This was fantastic.
All right,
It's
and
been
Rangers,
one of
you
my
know the
long
rules out
achievable
there.
goals.
Oh my God, attainable. So very. Anyway, Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?